All right, welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and begin our 45 minutes of yoga. My name is Megan. This is Tortilla and Goober. So we'll go ahead and begin in a comfortable seated position. I usually like sitting cross-legged, and you're welcome to prop yourself up on maybe a yoga block, or if you'd like, even a pillow. Sometimes that can feel nice if the hips and your knees are maybe feeling a bit tight. So go ahead and find your comfortable seated position. And we're going to start by tapping into our breath and just kind of grounding ourselves in before we bring in some more challenging movements. So if you'd like to go ahead and close your eyes down and allow yourself to sit up nice and tall. So bring in some length and lightness to the upper body. So the spine is lengthening and your eyes are closed and your hands are maybe just resting gently on your knees, and the grip on your fingertips should be light. So if you notice yourself, even now or just throughout the practice, either gripping or grabbing, pulling, forcing, know that you have the choice to bring in more lightness and ease to your practice. So as we sit here, let's take a nice deep breath in. So take an inhale through your nose. And nice, long, slow exhale out through your mouth. And repeat, so continue with that, a nice inhale through your nose. And then a slow exhale out through your mouth. Allow yourself to get really still here. A nice moment to check in with yourself and just to see how you're doing. Also the perfect time to check in with the physical body. Maybe finally kind of taking the time throughout the day to really slow down and check in and see how the body's feeling. So hopefully the shoulders are melting down your back and they're pulling away from the ears, and there's space between the shoulders and your ears. The back of your neck is nice and long. And the muscles of your face are relaxed. And if you ever notice yourself kind of coming out of the practice or having a difficult time settling in, the breath can be a really nice tool to slow the mind down and help you feel more grounded and present. In this seated pose, let's take 3 more long inhales and then longer exhales out. And see if you can really lengthen the breaths out and in. So there's no rush as we move through. Gently go ahead and blink your eyes open. And if you're sitting on a block, gently remove that. And then keeping all that length you brought to your spine, let's take a nice full deep breath. Inhale as you lengthen through your fingertips, reach your arms up nice and high towards the ceiling. As you exhale, start to twist over towards your right. So we're coming into a nice spinal twist or rotation. Same cues here with the spine. Your spine is lengthening up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your belly button towards your spine. And start to glance over your right shoulder. Staying easy through the muscles of the face. Notice the gaze. So as the gaze creeps back over the shoulder, maybe the body is following your gaze. So as you gaze a bit more over that right shoulder, maybe you're feeling a bit more of a twist. Stay for another deep breath in. And on your exhale, come back to center. Sitting up nice and tall. Big inhale, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, find your twist. So letting your right hand come just gently to your left knee. Squeezing your belly button towards your spine and taking a glance over your left shoulder. Back of the neck still nice and long. Lovely. Stay here for one more breath. And on the exhale, come back towards center. Awesome. Let's warm the shoulders up. So yeah, as you inhale, squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, roll them down and back. And again, a couple more times. The in breath, hugging them up. And an exhale to roll them down. One more time. Big inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Hi. Exhale, roll them down. Now we'll come into a stretch on either side. So leave your right hand on your mat. We're going to bring in length to the left side. So on an inhale, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and really feel that length. So reach through the fingertips. Nice breath in. And exhale, reach over towards your right. Seeing if you can stay kind of soft and gentle in this right arm and your right shoulder. Staying active through your left arm as you reach through your left fingertips and feel a nice side body stretch. Awesome. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, find your way back up towards center. Roll the shoulders down and back. Gently leave your left hand down on the floor and big inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale finds length. And exhale, reach over towards your left. You can close your eyes. You can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Staying gentle through your left hand and fingertips. Another deep breath in. Exhale, come back towards center. We'll go to the other side again. Option to drop down onto your forearm. So inhale to reach up. And exhale, reach over towards your right. If you'd like, dropping your right elbow and forearm down towards the ground. Either gazing up at the ceiling straight ahead or down at the floor. So see how your neck is feeling today. Next, exhale, float back up through center. And we'll go to the other side and inhale to reach. And exhale, stretching over towards your left, maybe dropping down to your left forearm and elbow. And your right bicep is sort of hovering right over your ear. You're reaching through your right fingertips to engage and stretch the arm and the side body. And next, exhale, come back through center. All right, place your hands gently on your knees. We'll just do a couple of seated cat-cows to warm up our spine. So taking an inhale, you're gonna let the sternum lift and start to curve in your spine. Shoulders are now squeezing together around your spine. And gazing up if that feels okay. And then as you exhale, round in your spine, maybe straighten through your arms a bit and tuck your chin. And then using your breath to set your pace. And inhale to come into a seated cat. No, this would be cow. But then as you exhale to cat pose. And maybe one more time. And then returning to a neutral spine and just letting your upper body maybe float in some circles. And so for that, we stay gentle through your fingertips, gentle through the elbows. And we're just kind of exploring and feeling things out. And then if you'd like, once you kind of get towards the center, you can drop both your hands down towards the ground and start to reach them forward a bit. So we're kind of coming into a cross-legged seated folds. And if it feels all right, you can start to rest your forearms down on the ground. Let the back of your neck be long, so we do that just by tucking the chin a little bit. And then if you'd like a bit of an opening through the armpit area, you can actually lift your forearms up off the ground, but keep your finger pads pressing down. Almost like how we have some different variations with child's pose with our hands, kind of a more relaxed version, and then a more engaged and activated version. And slowly bring yourself up to a sitting tall position. Go ahead and reach for your right leg. So go ahead and reach for the knee and the sole of the foot. Awesome, and we're just warming up the hip here. So for a deeper stretch, maybe hug the leg in closer towards you, but for a more relaxed and restorative movement, you can just keep it as far away as you'd like. Deeper stretch, you bring your whole leg between the two arms. Feel a stretch through your right glute area. Lengthen out through your left leg, so the left leg will extend long on the floor. Left toes face up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. And exhale, guide your right foot up and over and ground down through that right foot. We'll flow into a spinal twist from here. Your right hand is on the floor. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And as you exhale, start to twist and let your left elbow come to your right knee. And you can kind of apply some pressure there to feel a bit more of a twist if you'd like to go a bit deeper in it. So bringing the gaze over the right shoulder. On your exhale, come back through center and take a counter stretch just over to the other side. So now just taking a glance over your left shoulder just for a moment. Big inhale. And exhale, nice. Come back towards center. And we'll come into a seated tree pose. So you're going to slide the sole of the right foot down somewhere, maybe along the left leg. Right knee stays bent, and we'll work on folding over the left thigh. Inhaling up, creating a nice long spine. And exhale, reach for the left foot. And even here, hugging the belly button towards your spine, staying soft through your belly. Keeping the back of your neck long and watching out for any kind of dumping or rounding into the shoulders in this pose. So a more active way to do this pose would be focus on keeping a straight spine and letting your heart leave the fold as you fold over your left leg. And we'll find our way to the other side. So kind of creep your way out of that, sitting up nice and tall, and reach for your left leg. So we'll start with the kind of just warming up the hip. And again, deeper stretch here, just wrapping your shin in both of your arms. And when you feel ready, lengthen out your right leg onto the floor. Right toes face up towards the ceiling. Maybe get a nice kind of final stretch and really inhale. Feel your heart lift up. Squeeze the leg in. And as you exhale, guide your left foot up and over your right leg. Coming into a spinal twist, so we'll gently reach your right arm towards the ceiling, creating that length. Reach through the fingertips. And on your exhale, drop your right elbow towards your left knee. Awesome. Let the collarbone be nice and wide, and bring your gaze over your left shoulder. Still focusing on that nice breath we dove into at the very beginning of the class. And exhale and come back through center and go right over towards your other side. So placing your hands just down on the ground and twisting and looking over your right shoulder. Notice if the shoulders are hunching up towards the ears, and allow your shoulders to be relaxed. Come back towards center And come into your seated tree pose. So sitting up nice and tall, we will reach for the right foot. Inhale to reach up. Nice exhale to reach for the right foot. Hands can either come down on the floor, or they can wrap around the foot. Back of the neck stays nice and long. And pressing yourself back up. Bend your right knee. Bring the soles of the feet together for a seated butterfly. You can always use pillows here to prop underneath the knees if the hips aren't feeling that open or a little tight. So taking a nice breath in, nice and tall through the spine, and as you exhale, if you'd like, start to lean forward. So this is a nice stretch for the inner thighs. And same cues here. Let the shoulders pull away from the ears. Back of your neck should be nice and long. And then pressing your way back on up. Staying in this nice, cozy state. Let's shift right into our child's pose. Working your way, sending your hips back towards your heels, flipping onto the tops of your feet, and reaching your arms forward. Notice if you're holding on somewhere where you could let go. So if there's somewhere where you could make this pose maybe more easy or more simple for yourself. Let your forehead come into contact with something. So either the mat, your hands, or a yoga block. And then allow yourself to soften. So through the low back, the ankles, the knees, letting your heart drop down towards the mat. And relaxing through your shoulders. In your child's pose, your fingertips are spread nice and wide and you're pressing into your finger pads. So this is kind of the same cues as downward facing dogs. We want to keep pressure and weight out of our wrists. And you can either relax your elbows and arms down towards the floor in your child's pose, or for a more active child's pose, press into your finger pads, lift your elbows up off the mat, and really engage through the arms. Feel your spine lengthening out. And then gently from here, let's press up to our tabletop. So walk your knees in a bit closer towards one another, so they're just about right under your hips. Straighten through your arms, press up onto your hands, and feel your elbows stack over your wrists and shoulders right over the elbows. In tabletop, we want the back of our neck to stay long, and the gaze is just between the two hands. And we'll start with some circles here with the hips. So let the elbows and fingertips stay fluid. Returning to a neutral tabletop position. So fingertips spread nice and wide, just like in that child's pose. You want to press the mat away from you and engage through your core. So the belly button is squeezing towards your spine. Low abs are engaged. We'll do some balancing. So sending your right foot back behind you. You want to kick through your right heel And flex your right toes down towards the ground. And from here, if you notice yourself dumping into your shoulders, squeeze the belly button towards the spine and press the mat away from you. Engage through your core. Option is stay here or lift your left arm forward. So the left hand should be in line with the shoulder with your thumb facing up towards the ceiling. So now we're really grounding down through whatever is in contact with the ground. Reaching through your left hand, kicking through your right foot. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, round in your spine and bring your elbow towards knee, kind of right underneath your belly button area, and tuck your chin. 2 more times. Inhale, kick and lengthen out. Go as slowly as you need to. Exhale to squeeze in. Inhale, kick and lengthen out. Again, use and engage the core. Keep the back of your neck long. Keep grounding down through your right hand and arm. Exhale, bring and squeeze in. Tuck your chin a bit. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, kick and lengthen out. We're going to drop our right foot back behind us. Lower your left hand. We'll come into a calf stretch. So start working your right heel down towards the mat. And keep your left knee down as well. You can kind of rock from front to back here. Lovely, and lower your right knee back down. So coming back to tabletop position. When you feel good and steady, kick your left leg back behind you. Flex your left toes down towards the ground and kick out through the heel. If you notice your left hip peeling open, see if you can square your hips so that both hip bones are pointing down towards the ground. Squeeze the belly button towards the spine, engage your core. Option is stay or reaching your right arm forward. Thumb face up towards the ceiling. Bicep and shoulders right near the right ear. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly bring elbow towards knee. Continue grounding down through your left hand and your right knee, which is in contact with the mat. Inhale to kick and reach. Exhale, squeeze in. So hugging towards the midline, working that elbow towards knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bringing it in, elbow towards knee. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, kick and reach. Come on into your calf stretch. So drop your right hand right underneath your right shoulder. Your left leg will stay nice and long, and bring your left toes down towards the ground. Now working your left heel towards the mat, keeping your right knee down. In the back of your neck long, or even tucking your chin in this pose. Oh, lovely. Returning to your tabletop. Tuck your toes under and lift up to downward facing dog. So maybe bringing your arms forward just a few inches, your hands forward a few inches, so you've got some more distance from your feet towards your hands. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Really ground down and kind of grip through the finger pads. Spreading them nice and wide, engage through your arms, and send your chest back towards your thighs. This is feeling like too much. Bring a bend towards your knees. Lift the heels up away from the mat. You can always drop your forearms down to the ground for dolphin pose. From your downward facing dog, start to walk your feet up towards your hands. So this can be as slowly or quickly as you'd like. And once your feet meet your hands, your feet can either be hips width distance apart, or you can bring your big toes to touch and have a little bit of a space between your heels. So hanging in a forward fold. Bend the knees a bit and let the upper body hang heavy so the top of the head is reaching down towards the ground. Grab opposite elbows for Ragdoll Pose. So the arms are framing your head. On your next exhale, gently bring your hands down towards the ground. And then from here, bring your hands towards your shins and we'll inhale to a halfway lift. So the arms straighten, the top of your head reaching forward, back of your neck nice and long. Exhale as you fold forward again. And 2 more times. Inhale, lift halfway. Shoulders are pulling away from your ears. Heart lifts forward. Exhale as you fold. Ground down in all 4 corners of your feet. Again, inhale and lift halfway. And exhale to fold. Bend your knees, bring your hands down towards the ground. We're going to step our left foot back behind us. So we'll come into a low lunge. So your right toes are facing directly forward. And your ankle is right under your knee. And so your left toes are also facing forward too, and you're lifting your the left heel up. So from here, you can either drop down to your left knee for a modification, or if you feel good like this, leave your left hand down on the ground, really power up through the legs, and take a twist. So gently reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Hug your belly button towards your spine. Option for a half bind. The back of your right hand finds your low back. And in this pose, the top of your head is lengthening and reaching forward. So a nice straight line from the back foot, back leg, through your spine to the top of the head. Exhale, come out of that and bring your right hand down to the floor and switch sides. So keep grounding down through your feet. Inhale, twist and reach your left arm up. Lovely. Option for a half bind if you'd like. Back of the left hand to the low back. And exhale, bring your left hand back down. Square your hips down towards the ground. Back of the neck is nice and long. As you exhale, bring your left knee down. We'll shift into a runner's stretch. So from here, straightening through your right leg, bring your right toes towards the face. And start to fold over your right leg. Softening through the belly, let the head relax. Start to bend through your right knee. Bring your right foot to the floor. Going to lift the hips up and step your left foot up and out slightly. So this is a variation of pyramid pose. The hands can stay down on the ground. And start to fold your upper body over the right leg. This is feeling tense or tight or difficult. Focus on a nice steady breath and maybe bring a bend to your knees. And then leaving your hands on the ground, inhale to a halfway lift while you're in this pose. We're going to step our back foot up to meet our front and come into a forward fold. Again, staying soft through your knees and really grounding down through your feet. So your feet are parallel with one another, either 3 or 4 inches apart. You've got your big toes touching with about an inch between your heels. That will be the more challenging choice. And then 3 times. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. There stays a small micro bend through the knees, even in the halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Place your hands down on the ground and take a step or two back with your right leg. Left toes are facing forward and right toes are facing forward. So we're in a low lunge position with your left ankle right underneath your left knee. Perfect. You can drop the back knee to the floor if you'd like. Leave your right hand down on the floor. Inhale, twist your left arm up towards the ceiling. Really ground down through this left foot. Half bind if you'd like, maybe getting a deeper twist as you look up towards the ceiling and open up your left shoulder. Exhale, find your way out of that. Stay engaged through your core, can help keep balance. Left arm down on the floor. Inhale, twist and reach your right arm up. Coming into a half bind if you'd like. Feeling the heart open up and the right shoulder open up a bit more as well. Exhale, lowering your right arm back down. So staying in this low lunge position. And then dropping your back knee, shifting into your runner's stretch. So that your hips are pulling back behind you. And your upper body is folding over your left leg. Keeping space between your shoulders and your ears. For a deeper stretch, really flexing the left toes towards your face and folding deeper and closer towards your left leg. And then shifting your way into that pyramid pose. So bending your left knee, bringing your left foot to the floor. Keeping your hands down too, but lifting your hips and stepping your back foot up and out. And then ground down through both of the feet, kind of press into the feet. Really engage your legs and allow your upper body to fold over your left leg. Let your head hang heavy here. Keeping the hands maybe down on the ground. Inhale to a halfway lift. So let your heart pull forward and the back of your neck lengthens out. And then step forward to a forward fold so that right foot comes up to meet the left. And fold forward. We'll rise all the way up this time. So pressing through the feet, big inhale, engage through the legs, and rise all the way up. Standing up nice and tall. Sweeping the arms up overhead. Big exhale, slowly folds forward. Inhale, lift halfway, so hands to the shins. Exhale, fold forward. Press through your feet. Rise all the way up, but keep a soft bend in your knees, sweeping the arms up overhead. Maybe you look up if it feels okay on your neck. Exhale, slow fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Rise all the way up, press through the feet. Feel the legs turn on. Big inhale to reach. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's step back to a high plank. So ground your hands down on your mat. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Keep a softness through your elbows. Same cues here as tabletop. Use your core. Shoulders are stacked right over the wrists, and let's rock front to back a couple times. So as you inhale, shift your weight forward. So your shoulders are just going a little bit over the wrists. As you exhale, shift back to your plank. And then maybe a couple times just like that. So feeling the core, staying soft with the elbows, and you can always drop to your knees. On your next exhale, let's slowly lower down. So stay engaged through your core and squeeze your elbows in towards your ribs. Back of the neck nice and long. Oh, nice. Lower all the way down. Flip onto the tops of your feet. And then inhale to your Cobra Pose, or upward facing dog. So we want the heart to be opening. Cobra Pose, the elbows stay bent towards the ribs. Upward facing dog, start to straighten a bit through your arms. Kind of glide your hips forward a bit. And then exhale back to your downward facing dog. So roll over your toes and lift your hips up nice and high. We'll do that one more time. Take a nice breath in. Big exhale out. Bring your feet towards your hands. So either a step, a couple steps, or a jump forward. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press through your feet. Engage the muscles of the legs. Sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Big exhale as you fold. Let the heart lead the way. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, high plank. So taking the time to set up here, fingertips spread nice and wide, core is engaged. And when you're ready, exhale and lower all the way down. And from here, flipping onto the tops of your feet. As you inhale, Cobra Pose, or upward facing dog. So an upward facing dog, you're pressing through your hands and the tops of your feet. See if you can stay a little bit relaxed through your glutes. Nice, exhale back, keep the knees down, shift into your child's pose. So maybe in your child's pose, your arms stretch straight ahead and you kind of just roll your wrists out. If the wrists were feeling some pressure, through tabletop and downward facing dog. All right, from here, come into downward facing dog. Shift your hands forward a bit. Tuck your toes under, hips lift up. We'll come into warrior one on the right side. So start to step your right foot forward. Let your right toes face directly forward and ground down through your back foot. Your left foot is angled, so the toes are facing up towards the top left-hand corner of your mat. Your right ankle is right underneath your right knee. And again, we want to square our hips forward. So if you feel your hips like opening up towards this left area, ground down through this back foot, engage the leg. See if this left hip can shift forward slightly. So you get to go as deep or not as deep as you want. So if you're feeling good and strong, you can walk that right foot forward a bit and keep bending into this right knee, almost so that the thigh is parallel with the ground, if that feels good. Nice exhale, let the shoulders roll down the back. Zip up and in, so the shoulders are stacked right over the hips. And when you're feeling steady, if you'd like, arms can reach up towards the ceiling. You can come into cactus arms, which can sometimes feel nice for the front of the body. So you've just got bent elbows, and the elbows are in line with your shoulders. And just gazing straight ahead. Nice full deep breaths in. Notice if you feel the shoulders start creeping up towards the ears. And we'll hold for 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, bring both your hands to the inside of this right foot. We'll come into deepest lunge. So start to roll onto the ball of your left foot and bring your left knee down towards the ground. So this is giving us an opening through our right glute and in our thigh muscles, and also the left quadricep as well. And this pose can go deeper, so if you'd like to and you're able to, drop down onto your forearms. You're welcome to do that. This is a good spot for a block too, like if you're feeling like dropping onto your forearms, bringing your forearms to the ground is just a little bit too far away. A block can be really nice here. Notice if you're holding some tension in your neck. And keep squeezing your right knee into your right shoulder, grounding down through your right foot. And tuck your left foot under, rise back up onto both hands, and lift your back knee for a challenge. We'll shift our way back into a high plank. So kind of hovering this right foot, flexing the foot to engage the leg, and bringing it back to your high plank. And a nice exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up nice and high towards the ceiling. Okay, other side, warrior one. So a step or two forward with that left foot. Anchoring down your back foot and give it a little angle so your right toes are facing up towards the top right-hand corner of your mat. And arrange yourself so that you're stacked here. So your left knee is over your left ankle. If you feel like your hips are opening up towards the right, really engage this back leg, kind of send that right hip forward. And the left hip kind of hugs back. And again, you get to go as deep as you'd like to. So once you land in it, come back to that nice steady breath. Finding something still to gaze at in front of you. Hands and arms can always stay at your hips. Or if you'd like, reaching them up towards the ceiling or coming into that cactus or goalpost arms. So shoulders and hips squared towards the front. See if you can feel all four corners of your feet so you're really secure in your lower half. And relaxing your shoulders. Hold them for 3, 2, and 1. We'll drop into deepest lunge. So both arms come to the inside of this left foot. If that's feeling like too tight of a squeeze, start to walk your left foot out towards the left edge of the mat. Flip onto the ball of the back foot. And drop your back knee down. Untuck the toes if you'd like of the back foot. Awesome. And either staying lifted up on your hands or dropping down to your forearms. And then staying nice and easy through your elbows and through your fingertips. Feeling a nice stretch through your hips, the thighs, inner thighs. And then we'll find our way back to high plank from here. So tucking your right foot under, lifting your back knee up, lifting yourself onto your hands, straighten through your arms, hover your left foot up, and send it on back to your high plank. Let's stay here for a second. For 3, 2, and 1. Start to drop your knees and then lower your hips. So a nice, easy upward facing dog. Nice. Flip onto the tops of the feet. Let the shoulders squeeze together towards the spine so the front of your body opens up. And we'll make our way onto our back. So let's flow through maybe a downward facing dog, tucking your toes under, lift your hips, last downward facing dog. And this one, if you'd like to challenge yourself, straightening through your knees, really working your heels down towards the ground so they're descending towards the back edge of the mat. And breathing. Bringing your feet up towards your hands with either a step, a walk, or a jump. And lowering all the way down. So lowering down onto your back. We'll shift into a waterfall pose. So lift both feet up towards the ceiling. We're shifting into the end of practice, so you could always close your eyes here if that feels good. Maybe bring a soft bend to your knees in this one, so it's kind of more restorative and less active and engaged. And start to bend your knees even more. Squeeze both your knees in towards your chest. And maybe your arms wrap at the shins. Ground your low back down into the mat. Keep squeezing your right knee in towards your right shoulder and extend your left leg long on the ground. So we'll come into a spinal twist. On your next exhale, guide your right leg up and over. So spinal twist, left leg stays nice and long. You can always prop a block or pillow underneath your right knee. So if you don't feel that great about your right knee kind of just floating in the air, or if the foot or knee isn't coming down towards the ground, you can always prop it up. Feeling that nice rotation through the spine and the low back. And coming back towards center. Squeezing both knees back in towards the chest. Keep squeezing left knee into left shoulder. Extend your right leg. Let it be on the floor. And as you exhale, guide your left leg up and over the right. So you're rolling onto this outer edge of your right leg. Shoulders stay down. Maybe you're even feeling a stretch through the left glutes. And a nice rotation through your spine. As you exhale, come back towards center and let the limbs get long. So we'll settle into our final resting pose just for a moment. Definitely encourage closing the eyes down, relax the shoulders, and just do a quick scan to see what you can release or let go. And then taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, nice and slow. Holding at the top for just a bit. And then gently part your lips open and take a slow exhale out through your mouth. And then start to guide your knees in towards your chest. Another hug here, so interlacing the hands maybe right above the shins. Squeezing your low back down into the ground. And then shifting your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. So hopefully things feel a bit more loose and lighter. Nice big deep breath in, reaching your arms up high towards the ceiling. Spread your fingertips, palms together to touch. Big exhale, pull your hands towards heart center. Sitting up nice and tall, tuck the chin just a bit. Thank you for joining. Thank you for practicing. May you invite in peace, love, and joy. Namaste.